if they existed, which I'm assuming existed, and what happened to them.
What if they got rid of Nagato and Paper Chick and replaced them with Minato and the girl Kakashi put his hand through? That would make the story even harder, bro. Because then, like, it's like, yo, we got somebody for Kakashi. We got Kakashi head getting fucked up. Your whole squad dipped and Kakashi, you left. But you was the one that said that homies over missions, wasn't you? Like, I'm telling you, that'll flip the script up.
We must pay homage to him.
Okay, it was a two-parter. It's like if Minato joined the Akatsuki, would he be the leader or and something else, right?
Yeah. I think the idea was like if he was in the Akatsuki, would he basically rise up the ranks and become the top nigga?
Okay.
I think, and would they be better off with him or what?
Right. So we're just going to take it broadly and go, what do we think would happen? Would it improve the story, hurt the story? Where do we think Minato would land if he did actually join the Akatsuki?
See,
instead of just dying.
I think this is a tough question because, like, before you answer that, you really got to get the idea of where people place Minato because the Akatsuki got really some of the top human level people, and when I say human, I mean like we got to accept that towards the end of Naruto, niggas like Naruto, Sasuke, all them, they were not humans. Madara, them dudes are at a different level. So, like, who do y'all think is the strongest in the Akatsuki off top?
From the list of niggas, I mean, we have to go between Pain and Toby. I feel like that's what was kind of stated.
Right.
Not Itachi, niggas don't think he's a sleeper? I'm just wondering. Because people be out there. Itachi was healthy.
I'm not an Itachi stan. I love Itachi, but, like, let's be real. Like, he was trying to overtake it. Do we think if Itachi, like, was left to his own devices, he would be able to flip the Akatsuki?
If he wasn't afflicted with the Itachi disease.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. Huh?
Wait, what'd you say? P5?
I said if he wasn't afflicted with the Itachi disease, you don't think he goated?
I still don't see it. Like, I'm sorry.
I think it would take a while. I would say this. I don't think it's happening in the Naruto Shippuden timeline with that Itachi we saw without him being sick. I think it would happen in a following storyline of like, I need to grow just a little bit more before.
What's the question? If Itachi could have flipped, like, could have become the leader? You mean?
It was Itachi actually low key the strongest?
I don't think he was the strongest. I think, like, just based off trajectory, like, he would have become the strongest. Like, I think so at a certain point.
He was definitely
the same way Sasuke became stronger than that nigga, the Pain.
I could agree. I don't know if we can still say that. I mean, at this point now in Boruto, but are you referencing like the time where he beat him?
What you mean?
As when he became stronger than Itachi?
No, I'm saying Sasuke became stronger than Pain because I consider Pain.
Okay.
And so by the end of the show, Sasuke was stronger than him. I assume Itachi would be on that same kind of timeline.
Well, I mean, that only happened because Buddy took his eyes, though, right?
What?
I mean, as far as like Sasuke becoming stronger than Pain at the end, it's all about the eyes and then bloodlines, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, sure. But
he
just steals Sasuke's eyes, sure.
Yeah. Like, I agree with Deuce in that. I believe in Itachi's potential. I just don't think that in Shippuden he had the potential to beat. I don't think in Shippuden he had the actual strength to beat the top.
Yeah, at that exact time.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I guess to go back to what P5 was asking regarding Minato and the timeline, I completely agree. I thought that was like the biggest issue I was having when Gramps first proposed the question, because if Minato joined the Akatsuki, we're talking about a complete storyline shift here. And like, in my opinion, that goes pretty early if we're thinking about it. So we're talking about like a lot of events that'd be different that you would have to consider. At least I think
What
so.
does it shift really, though? Because I honestly think they could still pretend this nigga died and have him in the Akatsuki. You never, like, we didn't know about Toby for the longest. You know what I mean? Like
niggas used to think Toby was the fourth.
Easily hide that nigga's
niggas used to think Toby was the fourth. I remember that before, like we actually found out when it was still a mask. Motherfuckers was like, "Oh, that's the fourth. He just dyed his hair black." Telling you.
See.
But I mean, that's just it, though. So I mean, like, I feel like it would still have to be a replacement. Like, I guess it's tough for me to see the fourth Hokage and Toby being on the Akatsuki at the same time.
I see it just like this.
Oh, wait, what?
I see it like this. Kurama attacks.
Okay.
He dies. Yeah. In that death, he really just dipped out to the Akatsuki, right? Did the whole village thing happen later or at that same time?
But it would have to be the reasoning, though, right? So I mean, like fourth Hokage still is thinking about Naruto, right? So are you trying to say that the fourth Hokage's main goal would have been then to get like Naruto and the Akatsuki
in this world
his side also?
No, it could even easily align with Madara's because honestly, if there's anyone who knows the atrocities of war, it's the fourth Hokage. That nigga was a beast, murdering motherfuckers, and he probably could have easily just been like, "I'm sick of this shit. I wanted to end it." So Madara approached me. I was like, "That shit makes sense." All right,
but the problem was the lack of hope, though. I mean, like, because like the fourth Hokage was still hopeful in his death because of Naruto. So if like they wanted to shift it to his side, I feel like they would have to do something later on, Naruto because of that, though, wouldn't they?
Like you're putting your current knowledge based off of like if none of that shit we knew happened, like all the stuff that happened when the QB attacked, all the shit him and his wife said, and all that stuff. We didn't know any of that. So like we talking about when Toby was just in the mask, we didn't know shit. You know anything about the Akatsuki for real? That could have been the fourth Hokage, and we would all ran with it. We would have been cool with
100%.
It would probably been even better, low key. So like,
right? No, it would have been better, high key. Because that Obito shit was dumb.
Yeah, you just can't look at it with your like your current knowledge because that's what they're putting into his personality and all that stuff into it. We didn't know anything about that nigga literally at that point.
Right.
Zero.
But this is what I think overall about the question. I think if Minato joins the Akatsuki, right, not only do I think is he the strongest member, obviously not in outright power because that nigga Pain can level a fucking village, but in the power combined with smarts, I mean, I think they fairly lead us to believe that Minato was the smartest ninja ever in Konoha. They go as far as to even say like the only nigga with higher grades than Itachi was him, right? Like, he mastered space-time jutsu, no Kekkei Genkais, just all balling. I think that he is the once-in-a-lifetime genius that these niggas don't have that y'all just said if Itachi had a few more years he would get. Because when I look at Minato, I just see Itachi who didn't get the Itachi disease. Because they compare them niggas so hard. It's just like, okay, what if we got Itachi, except he a grown-ass man now and been training and fighting niggas. Like, I think that nigga would have definitely took over. He's smarter than all them niggas. Most of them niggas stupid. We know for a fact Toby was stupid. You know what I'm saying? He was Naruto in the grade.
We know for a fact Kakuzu ass
stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Huh? Like all these niggas were
dumb.
All them niggas was dumb. You know what I'm saying? So he would have definitely been in and like puppeteered them. The only nigga who was smart was Orochimaru and Itachi. And then Orochimaru already would have smelled that shit with Minato. Y'all brought this nigga here? You know what I'm saying? He already knew. So I think Minato would have took that shit over, been the leader, and they would have made way better choices in life.
It's like I agree with you, but it's like I guess I see conflict in it, but it's conflict that low-key could get resolved via plot and be good anime content in the end, you know? Because like when that happens, like him trying to take over Akatsuki, you're gonna be playing with the Zetsus and like the Hashirama cells, the Madara who's not really here yet.
Yeah, that's
so it's like all of that would have been like, oh, that would have sucked, but actually that low key could have been fired based on how that gets developed. So it's like,
So who do you think is the leader now? Like the leader of Akatsuki? Do you think the leader was Pain, or do you think the leader was Toby?
The leader was Toby, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like they said it as if like Toby was calling the shots from behind the scenes, but I feel like that's kind of like the upper management thing is like, who's really running your job? Is it the CEO who y'all never see and never interact, don't say shit, or is it the nigga that come to you every day and tell you what to do? Like, So
Yeah,
I feel
so
like I
that's what
want
I'm
to put
saying. I
my
don't know.
money with Pain because he was doing more of the day-to-day operations. But
I would see the fourth being more of like a Toby, like just a smart nigga in the background, just trying to run shit. So that means him and Madara would have eventually had to fight because Toby was just doing what Madara said.
Right.
he don't want that
That's
smoke.
a different story. So the fourth one to get him rough.
See, I feel
I
like
missed the
that he
follow-up
would
question.
create.
I'm gonna pack his ass up.
I think the fourth would create a faction. Like not a full takeover, but like when shit hit the fan, there would probably be like half the niggas like, yo, we loyal to Minato. And now it becomes a fight. I could see that. But definitely once you get to that Madara barrier, it's over. He ain't beating that nigga.
Yeah, you're saying that's where his strength stops?
Oh yeah, I don't think
Madara would sit him
Minato
down?
is even close. Except speed. I think he's still faster than Madara.
Yeah, I can see a possible setup at the end. But what I would say is that I think from a story standpoint, like I said in the text message, Minato joining the Akatsuki is like beautiful story writing, because if you just think about some of the key moments in Naruto as it relates to the Akatsuki and like the higher level niggas, and you just replace that with Minato, is crazy. Like if Jiraiya was on his deathbed with pain, and then fucking Toby shows up, removes the mask, and it's fucking Minato. Like both students this nigga trained, both students he expected like to be the GOAT, and he basically got betrayed by both those motherfuckers. Like that would probably break Jiraiya like even more than he was already broken at that point in time.
Bro.
So I think that would be dope. The whole Naruto finding out that like, oh, actually I thought both my parents was dead, but like, no, nigga, you was alive this whole time and you're an asshole. Like, I think that would be crazy. And yeah, like I'm of the belief that he would probably be the top nigga in the Akatsuki, if not right out, but like definitely eventually. But I caught some of what you were saying at the end. I do agree that like I don't know if I feel like he would necessarily fully bow down to Madara. So I like that like splinter organization idea of like, yeah, I'm following you, but really I got like an Itachi type of plan in the works to like flip the shit.
Yo, it's kind of, after you just said that low key, I'm kind of having flip thoughts now. Because like the reasons why I was about Minato joining the Akatsuki, I think is more about the what, but not about the why. But about you explaining that like how Minato was also like a student of Jiraiya, Naruto's dad, and kind of takes away like the plot of the opposing mindsets as far as Naruto and Pain. I think low-key Minato would take that away, wouldn't it? Because of the repetition. It's more like the conflict that, or like the plot issues that Naruto was going to have with Minato's dad has kind of low-key already been used with Pain. And it would be more so of like they then would be diluted since they're both together, kind of shooting out the same ish.
To me, I feel like Minato would just shut down every Naruto argument because, nigga, I'm your dad. Like, Naruto could say all this other shit to people like, oh, I lived a lonely life too because of blah, blah, blah. But imagine saying that shit to, like, your parent. Like, it's just different. Like, he could just shut that shit down of, like, so, I don't have a bloodline either. Like, I've been through the same shit too. Nigga, you at least got the 9-tail fox. You got some strength. Nigga, I grinded this shit from the bottom. Like, what talk no jutsu are you going to pull out on him? Oh, I'm your son? Yeah, I knew that when I left the village. Like, I pretty much said fuck you at that point in time. So,
and
what
I
do
feel
you mean?
like we
Like,
could
I think
get rid of the whole like Rain Village and Nagato's connection to Jiraiya, because if we being honest here, his connection to Jiraiya is ridiculous, and it could just be given to the fourth Hokage and work out the exact same way, and it doesn't change anything about the story because surprise, surprise, he was already Jiraiya's student. Like nothing changes. Right. The story is unchanged. Oh, so
you talking about you really want a complete replacement then with like Pain and fourth Hokage like that?
I wouldn't replace them. Like the Pain can still be there, but just simply as a very strong ninja. the purpose that he ended up serving for the entire show, because his secret deep past ended up meaning nothing anyway. The only point besides him being a strong ninja was that Jiraiya thought I was the GOAT, and that would fit this prophecy that we found out wasn't true. It's Naruto. That actually has a better connection when you go, oh, well, Jiraiya thought I was the GOAT, fourth Hokage, who's a genius, who's Naruto's dad, who's everything that fits just like Pain. But I wasn't the GOAT, so I went to this instead because Jiraiya's idea is stupid. And he got the same argument Pain got, like, oh, my village got attacked. I was a child of war. Niggas put me in a 1v1000 fight, came out that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to watch my child, or my first child, Toby, get a fucking rock dropped on his head. Then I picked my nigga up and we went and started bombing shit. I like it.
And then even that, like, you get to me what what Player 5 was saying. We kind of got like a story about a world we didn't care much about, and really the only value there was like we kind of got to see how they became Sannin through Pain's story. But I feel like there's way more worth to actually learning about Minato's story as Jiraiya's student, and like maybe his fellow compatriots.
Bro.
If they existed, which I'm assuming existed, and what happened to them.
What if they got rid of Nagato and Paper Chick and replaced them with Minato and the girl Kakashi put his hand through? That would make the story even harder, bro. Because then, like, it's like, yo, we got somebody for Kakashi. We got Kakashi head getting fucked up. Your whole squad dipped and Kakashi, you left. But you was the one that said that homies over missions, wasn't you? Like, I'm telling you, that'll flip the script up.
Damn.
All right.
That's interesting.
Kakashi.
I agree. I like that.
I kind of see that. Damn.
But instead, you know, we got Nagato and that nigga got folded after giving a good speech.
Lols.
I'm telling you. I'm still waiting on the Naruto prequel, man. Just end Boruto early. We don't need it anymore.
Right?
Give me the Naruto prequels.
Give us the Minato, Naruto, not Generations, but like Legacy or something.
No, I mean like low-key, like the old Kage from the other villages and how everything got like set up. That could be mad decent.
Hear me out. A show.
And still playing.
And if you listening, Masashi, you can go ahead and take it, bro. Just give me credit. Call it Kage Chronicles. An anthology. Random Kages throughout the years from different villages. We just get to see these niggas going hard in the paint. All types of missions, diplomatic shit, 100%. Anything.
Sure. They could even do a future episode if they wanted to. Some nigga we ain't even met yet. All right. Do we want to drop